pick this up, stick it in that side.
Pinch side first.
Yep. And you put a foot on the bottom.
Okay.
And then lift up there. And then you want to tighten the knob that's over there. So I usually I'll pull up on it as I tighten it. So it's kind of snug.
Okay. Same thing over here.
Yep. So kick the bottom in with your foot. And then push up and tighten. There you go. And then you do the top and the bottom. And I usually kind of just give it a shake test. Yeah, I think it's tighter this time than it was last. Yeah, she's in good shape.
Okay.
Then you put the fan in.
Cool.
And now you know how to put the blower on. It's not hard. Putting the frame together takes a couple minutes.
Okay.
That'll work. Good. And then here's your hose. So you might start with that end and do the bottom first.
Okay.
Yep, yellow to yellow. Yeah, and then the red goes last. That's up high.
Which one does this go to? So
Goes to in. I think
Okay.
it says.
What is the out for?
You can put multiple fans together.
Okay.
Because they'll do full building tests running like 30 or 50 fans for giant buildings.
Not bad. Cool.
Nope, so that's that side. And then usually I just kind of put this in here. You're tall enough too, you'll be able to see the top easy. So I loop the red and the yellow back behind and up and over. Yep. And that's how it goes in the bottom of it actually.
Oh.
It's confusing.
What is the other one for? The same thing if you have a second board door?
Yep.
Okay.
Or am I wrong? You know what? No, I take it back. It does go, the Cat 5 does go on the top. My bad. I haven't used this that incredibly much. I only got it right before we went on our trip and I ran like 4 tests with it. So I'm still new too.
Okay. Good to go.
All right, so now we just got to run the power cord. And I think there's 3-prong right over there. Plug it in. I always carry, by the way, a 2 to 3 converter, because you'll test a bunch of old houses that don't have a 3-pronger. So you want to have the converter. So the power switch is over here.
Okay.
Numbers I think in ratios of leakage to square footage. So the house is 2,100 square feet. If it's a 1-to-1, so which would be a 2,100 CFM 50 on this.
What is CFI? I was trying to keep up with you guys, like the CFM 50 thing, because that's like something you guys started, right? That's not a...
Yeah, that ratio, yeah. It's although Minneapolis Blower Door actually had it in their manual too from years ago.
Okay.
It's a really good kind of rough way to get a quick idea of where something is.
Okay.
It's not like the best number in the world, but it's pretty good.
Well, what does that mean, CFM
Well, CFM 50 stands for cubic feet per minute,
Yeah.
at 50 pascals.
Okay.
So 50 pascals
That's
of
like the
pressure, we're going
baseline.
to try to get that to.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that we're going to be able to hit it.
Right.
So like a 1-to-1 is decent. That's like a B-. So like you're definitely not top of your class, but you'll make it through school. And at a 1-to-1, fairly often HVAC can control a house.
Okay.
So like if this had a 2,100 blower door, you know, maybe we wouldn't even bother with shell work. We'd just put in HVAC and move on with life.
Okay.
60s and 70s houses are usually in the 2-to-1 range.
Oh,
So this would
really?
have a 4,000 blower door. And this era is routinely in a 3-to-1 range, which
Okay.
should be a 6,000. 6,000 for the hell of it. Do you want to take a guess, Bill?
Hopefully it's working.
Actually, that's an order. Take
What
a
am I
guess.
guessing now?
The blower door. So I'm betting that your house is about 3 to 1 from experience. But it may be better, it may be worse.
So you're guessing 3 to 1?
Yeah. So which is a 6,000 blower door.
Since I am just guessing numbers, not really having any idea of the science behind it, really. I'm going 4 to 1.
4 to 1? Okay, 8,000?
I think it's going to be closer to 7,000 because of this porch.
Okay, let's find out.
I mean, I don't really know either. I've seen this happen twice.
We're all wrong. So much you guessed wrong. We're all wrong. Somebody should have guessed wrong. Oh, wow, he does have a light. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. So what are we looking at here, Nate?
All right, so this is the zonal pressure of the basement. So this can be a little bit confusing, but right now the blower door's running, and we're creating a 50 Pascal difference between outside and inside. So we have this tube running underneath your basement door, and it's measuring the pressure difference between here in the house and the basement. And this number should be under 3, which would be like 6% leakage outside. That's when we get a basement in good shape, we usually get to something like that. But instead we're around 13. And if you double that, that's about the percentage connected outdoors. So your basement's pressure about 26% outside. And this
Which
is it's not good.
I feel like that's better than what I thought, because the whole front porch thing.
Well, so that's different. There's insulation and there's air sealing. This is the air leakage side of things, not the insulation. So under your front porch should get insulated because it's not done very well. But this is still a really bad number for a basement. I've seen a few worse, but not many.
Awesome.
So there's some work down there.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't waste the trip. So the knee wall attic is basically, well, let's just pop it open and take a look.
Here we go, yeah.
Oh wow, it's cold, huh?
Good Lord, that's cold.
Look at those old cedar shakes.
Yeah, see, I need a lot of cans of spray foam for this.
Lots and lots of cans.
A lot of Kleenex.
See, you know,
Kleenex.
lots of mouse poop in there, but I can't seem to get a damn mouse in one of my traps.
So Adam, you want to trade places with him and see if you can get a pressure on that?
Yeah, that just blows it right open.
That's ridiculous.
Actually, I'm going to run downstairs. So that's better than I usually see, ironically.
For a
Why do
knee
you
wall
want
attic?
this?
If it's outside, it'll read 50,
Okay.
and the attic should be outside the house.
Okay.
So
this
should be
is-
heating or cooling.
But it should be better insulated or better sealed, so it's not.
Yeah, it's still not great because it's still 20% connected to the inside.
Yeah.
But usually when I test knee walls, they're 25. So they're half in, they're half out, 25.
So you
pascals
want
or
that,
50.
if anything though, what he would want to do is make sure this wall is sealed and this door has a better door or better seal
like
or whatever.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to get there.
Okay.
It just takes some more thinking to figure out which way is the best way. And
So that's interesting.
so that's normally what I see in spaces like this.
Was that number again? 24.2?
Yeah.
In the master bedroom?
So that's 40.
Now, you're saying that's really good?
50%.
That's 50% connected to the outdoors. Yeah, that's
So our
really
master
bad.
bedroom is like 50%
Outdoors.
outdoors.
Yeah.
So we're almost like going camping every day.
There you go. You like camping? You do it every day.
That's amazing. No wonder I'm so cold.
This one doesn't show.
You just do your best if you can, and if you can't, whatever.
So this one's not terrible?
Well, you can't shut the door, so it's going to be worse than that.
Well, that and over there, underneath that little tub where I think they had a built-in shower at some point in time.
Yeah.
There's a vent that goes behind that. That used to be an old dryer vent. Now I insulated it really well. I stuffed an old towel into that vent. So
That's really, really well right there.
I'm
Really
pretty sure Corbett Lunsford would be proud of me too.
Are you friends with him? Do you know him?
Who's that?
Corbett?
I like to give him and his little tiny house stuff. See, another thing is I have this attic access, if that makes any difference.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got a random couple of can lights in here too.
Yeah, I can feel
man.
air moving
Oh yeah,
over here.
it's coming right through there. You
I can feel it coming through the can lights.
Here's sub panel number 2. Oh, look at you. You even dated it.
And I even have a rope ladder in case we catch fire up here.
Woo!
Just so you know.
Safety first.
See, this is where I want to put the other furnace because I got gas hookup, I got electrical. I can go right up through here,
Boom, boom.
run ductwork to all the rooms, drop vents down,
Bada bing, bada boom.
call it good. But see, like these walls, I think have been like insulated at some point in time. They don't
Yeah, I bet
feel
they
as
have.
cold.
Yeah, you're right. Those feel pretty good.
Like not as cold as the other exterior walls.
Yeah, somebody took one of your attics and just finished it and made it this, which is awesome.
Yeah, this is
Great.
This is what I want to do to the other knee walls, but I don't know if the other knee wall in the master is like really big enough to do anything as far as finishing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it is kind of tiny, but it would be kind of a neat little space to hide my dinosaur collection at least.
Well, you could turn it into a like built-in or something like that.
Yeah,
Make
open it up.
Nice little space.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we'll chat about that.
10.7 bathroom.
Bathroom 10.7. Okay.
All right, so what are we looking at here now? So that's
Your
infrared of
leaky
my
floor.
floor. So my floor in certain spots, which are the purple spots, is 36 degrees.
Isn't that fairly normal to leak through the floor though? But what we're seeing is the whole sum of the whole first floor in the basement coming through the floor.
Well, maybe we might also be seeing air coming from like the front. It's oftentimes coming like, in between the first and second floor. The air that's coming from there, but it could be coming from all sorts of different places.
Okay.
This house is so leaky that it's just like, yeah, good luck.
Good luck at actually pinpointing where it's
Yeah.
leaking from.
This is why we say you get out the sledgehammer, because if you're going to make this better, you're going to just have to hit the house hard. 30 degrees. What air leakage
Alright,
looks
so
like.
we are looking at my attic space and something that Nate calls perfect air leakage.
It's a perfect visual representation of it. See how it looks like fingers coming out? Streaks. That's what air leakage looks like.
42 degrees. I don't know, actually when you get close to the edges of it, it's more like 20, it's basically outside.
Yeah.
20 degrees. Got to lows 19.
A nice cold day for doing this. You can see everything.
Oh, look at right
Oh,
there.
geez, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a chase, Adam. That's what a chase looks like.
A plumbing chase or something they
Something,
did right there.
yeah.
Plumbing chase? Yeah.
There's another one right there.
Well, that makes sense. You can see the drain lines. I think you're on that wall cavity there. That line up with that drain line coming up out of the top.
There's some in the corner. Oh yeah, look at around the can lights.
Well, those are easy in LED retrofit kit.
How is
All right, so now that we froze my house and we all have hypothermia, what are we looking at here now?
All right, so we asked questions, and then we did the blower door test, froze your house out, looked at the house in infrared, saw all kinds of crazy stuff. But now we need to prioritize what you actually care about fixing, and that leads us towards a budget. So in prioritizing goals, I don't know that you're going to have a ton of goals from what we've talked about. I mean, your biggest one's probably going to be you'd like to switch to forced air. But sometimes I'll get people that give me 6, 8, 10 goals, and I need to know which ones they care about the most, so that if we can't hit some of them, I have an idea of what I want to aim at.
Like a range to hit.
Yeah. So we like to prioritize goals from a 1, I don't care, to a 10, I don't care what it costs, fix it now, which is no budget. So somebody always has a budget, so 9 is usually the highest that people will give. But in the priorities, and like again, here we are, like there's a whole script for how to do all this stuff. But you just type in like what you want to do. So add a forced air system is the first thing that comes to mind for me. From what we talked about. So on a scale of don't care to fix it now, where is that for you?
Well, if we're doing forced air, should we do forced air before air sealing, you think? Or does it...
This will be overall. So
overall?
Yeah, so just to move to it.
I would say forced air is first.
So is it like an 8 to 7, a 9?
Oh, as far as I'd say, at least 8. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. It's been top of mind for quite some time now.
All right, so adding forced air is the biggest thing. It's partly just for familiarity, it sounds like, and not worrying about the water in the house.
Yeah, partially familiarity. How do you say that word?
Familiarity.
Yeah, that word. Yeah, partially for that, and the other part is because I don't really like hydronics.
So are you looking for the air quality benefits of it?
Well, no, I take all that back actually. The other reason is because, in my opinion, in order to fix all the cold spots, I think we can do that easier by adding a forced air system or somehow putting a system in rather than like trying to run a pipe with water to my master bedroom.
Yeah.
Without, like, you could probably maybe come off of that radiator, come off that loop upstairs and then go through the wall. But then you got a pipe, just hanging out right through the wall.
So now we're to what it really is. You'd like to have your master bedroom be warmer.
Master bedroom, office, and kitchen need to be warm. Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make
Edit
them 3
out
separates.
last part in my video here.
So warm up, master bedroom. That's a huge swing. It was cold in there. So we'll start with the master bedroom. So with thinking of just making the master bedroom comfortable, where is that priority-wise, 1 to 10?
It's probably like an 8 as well.
Okay.
It's sort of what spurred all of this, and then delving into the other rooms as well.
So the office, that's probably a little bit lower. You spend a lot of time in there, though.
Yeah. It's probably getting that up to speed. 5, 6.
Okay. And then have the kitchen be warm.
Yeah, definitely the kitchen.
Does that bother you more?
It's about the same as the office.
Okay. Also a 6.
Yeah, I'm not in there as much, but I'm in there enough to the point where I'm like, yeah, it just needs to be addressed.
Just like to be warm.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is you really want the whole house to be much more even in temperature.
Yeah.
And comfortable. Do you wear slippers much when you're in the house? I mean, I know you're in them right now.
No, just sandals.
Well, okay, so you wear sandals usually in the house, though?
Mm-hmm.
Is that against the cold floors?
No, mostly just because the floors are so hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing to do with keeping my feet warm.
Okay.
Like right now, my feet are freezing. I wish I had slippers.
My feet are cold too.
Yeah.
We're getting cold feet. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that really stood out? I'm going to put it on here, but reducing the mold in the bathroom upstairs.
Oh, downstairs.
Downstairs. Okay,
Yeah.
Downstairs bathroom. I don't even know how much that even ranks. Is that like a 2 or a 3?
Yeah, probably 2.
Okay. So yeah, so it really just comes down to you'd like your house to be warm everywhere, if at all possible. So moving on from that to the next question, which is a budget exercise. Are there any other objectives that come to mind? Any goals that you have for the house?
No. No.
I mean, there's more insulation, but that's almost like a separate thing.
Yeah, that ties into those first goals, I assume.
Yeah, because it's going to take some budget to do those. So this was our budget question. We'd like to just kind of bracket people to give an idea of what's going on. But the question that I asked you earlier, so if you were renting the house, how much more in rent would you pay per month to have the house be totally comfortable? So would it be $700 a month? Probably not, but it's probably more than 7.
More than $7 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what would that number be?
$300 a month at least.
Okay. So that means it bothers you a fair amount.
Yeah, comparatively to what I know I could like rent this house for, what I bought it for, versus like if I move down to the street to one of the houses that are for rent that I know has forced air and is comfortable, versus what I pay now for the the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So $300 a month buys about 50 grand
Nice.
over 15 years. So that's enough that you've got a project, if you want to. So, but that's the basic idea. Okay, that is it
Nice.
at that point. So from here, I'll compile a report and send it to you.
Okay.
With some recommendations that will mainly be HVAC, and then we're going to run a load calc live here for you.
Do people ever ask you like, well, you're asking me how much per month this is worth? Do they ever become objective about saying that, like trying to think that you're going to just spend the money or whatever, or are you just trying to and how do you address it? You say like, I'm trying to figure out for what you need the biggest fruit that I could, the low-hanging fruit. I want to achieve the most I possibly can with your budget. Like,
So this isn't so much about what are we going to do. This is about what is it worth to fix the problem. So you might have told me $50 a month, and I'd be like, yeah, go pound salt. Space heaters and a window unit, and stop whining. That's not a real problem.
In my basement.
So this is kind of like a scratch and sniff test to see like, are we even on the same page?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So ideally, when you're doing this, you have left your sales hat in the car. That's part of why I don't like to talk solutions in these, and we strongly recommend against it. Because as soon as you start, well, we can do this kind of equipment, or we can do this kind of equipment, you quickly find yourself in sales mode, getting excited, and then their walls go up. So this whole process is meant to have everybody's walls be down. And this is an awkward question, and a lot of people do fight it. And it's okay, frankly, if they fight it for the comfort consult. Because we originally built this for selling the full retrofits, which is kind of what this house needs. So this is a candidate for the full retrofits that we're good at. It's not an HVAC-only house. If you had tested a 2000 blower door and it was halfway decently insulated, be like, okay, we're just going to do forced air and move on with life.
So how do people fight that question usually, and how do you combat their?
It's tricky, but the best line seems to be, so remember how I told you I left my sales hat in the car? Like, I don't care what this number is, and if you really don't want to give me one, that's fine too. But this is part of what you paid for. If you remember the Venn diagram at the top of your goals, your house needs, and your budget. So if you want to let me off the hook on doing this part of the work, I'm happy to, but you're still going to owe me the same amount. Do you want to let me off the hook? And if they do, you're done. And if they don't, hopefully they'll understand at that point, look, I'm really not trying to sell you something. I'm just trying to put everything in a line that bothers you. And we now know that your house is really leaky. So like it's going to take some real work to make the house right. But we can. So now it's a question of,
What's it worth?
yeah, what's it worth to you?
Yeah.
So what's it worth and what does it cost are two different things. Sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. Your budget, that may be more than you need, or it may be about right. Like I could kind of see either one of those happening. But there's a bunch of math that has to be done next to decide that. But for now, that's a good number. And like if they gave that to you for HVAC and you were just going to put 2 systems in, relatively simple systems, that may be more than you need. Because if you're going to do some simple ducted minis or like single stage furnace for the basement or something like that, that's not a crazy expensive duct install. So 50 grand would surely do you. 30 might. So anyway, that's the deal. Priorities and budget are how you end the comfort console.
Nice. Seems pretty simple.
That's the idea.
All right, guys. That wraps it up. A day with Mr. Nate Adams and that guy, A-Team Adam, the 2 Adams right here. Now, just so you guys know, this video was filmed safely. All of us got rapid testing. At least I did last week. Nate did earlier this week, was it?
Yep.
And then Adam, he got rapid testing, probably in an alleyway behind a theater before he got here. Point is, we're all being safe. We're not wearing masks, as you can tell, but we all passed our tests, so no hate, all right? Big thanks to Nate and Adam for showing up. Super fun time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or anything, hit me up. Email is going to be down below. You guys all know Nate. I'll put a link to his email down below as well, all right? We'll see you guys.
Later.